Can you see my slides, people online? Are you there? Oh, okay. Thanks, Visit. All right, great. Okay, so I had to keep on going. I apologize. It was just an internet connection. If you can, this is your Avenue to Learn quiz this week. The answer is Homer Simpson. We just got to that, and I apologize that we had to move on without you. Okay, so this is an exercise that we're going to do to practice finding connections with people. And I think it's not too many of us today, but the last couple of classes I did this just by show of hands. And I don't think it works as well, but I'm going to try it again because I did it the same way with the other students as well. Anyway, we're going to play just a game about finding connections. And it's all about would you rather. So I'm just going to do, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat if anybody online wants to contribute to this. So the first one is, would you rather be able to fly for one day or be completely invisible for one day? Okay, who are the flying people? Okay, invisible people. Okay, tell me, what was it about one of those hours, special events, that made you choose that? Yeah.
If I was invisible, there'd be nobody who'd be able to see me, so I feel pretty lonely that day. And also I'd be more tempted to do that time since nobody could see me. More picking the fly ones.
I see, because you would be worried that if you were invisible, you might be up to things to no good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's as good a reason as any. I had one student this week say that they would go in and change their marks. I thought, okay, well, that's honest. Can I have your name, please? Other people, why did you choose that? Why did you choose what you did? Yeah.
I also chose to fly. Really high up.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, think of the post you can make out of that. Yeah, sure. And we've all seen those pictures, right? Other people, other ideas. Yeah. That's an interesting perspective. That would always be fantastic. You could change it. But if you're invisible, maybe it's just an ordinary day. Yeah, yeah, I see that. Yeah, I like that. All right. So next one. Would you rather go to Harvard and become the best person in your field or go to Hogwarts and become an average wizard? Okay, best person in your field at Harvard. Hogwarts, but you're just an average wizard. Ah, yeah. Okay, Harvard people, tell me about that. Yep.
It's like then you know all of it. Like just something one day. Stuff.
Yeah. Other thoughts on this? Yep. The wizarding world seems dangerous, did you say? Yeah.
Well, I choose being an average wizard because I at least have something to work towards, me something better. If I'm just the best person in Harvard, I feel like, it's like slapping them off their bumps to become the best.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I would, sometimes I give this example in a practice session. Sidney Crosby is a pretty good hockey player, right? Would does he do in the summer? Does he put up his feet and say, I'm good, right? No, he's practicing. You have to keep practicing. So, I mean, that's an interesting point, that if you're the best in your field, is there anywhere else to go, right? Okay, so let's do one more. Would you rather have a horrible job but be able to retire comfortably in 10 years, or have your dream job but have to work until the day you die? So, sorry, I'm just looking at, Fizza had contributed online here. Magic is way too interesting to pass up. Yeah, I agree with you there, Fizza. Okay, so horrible job, people. Horrible job. 10 years, horrible job, but then you get to live the rest of your life. Okay, others who want their dream job, but work every day. Yeah, so I never find this one surprising at all. And I mean, because it's usually 100% of the class who are still thinking this. So tell me about that. Tell me why horrible, why dream job? So I'm gonna go back. Right, okay. So if you have your dream job, it's gonna be great all the time. Maybe that's through the seniors. Although somebody pointed out in yesterday's class, well, what if you die?
Yeah, did you want to say like 10 years time?
That's the way I see it, but maybe not. You know, I mean, I see that too, that anything that dull achieves, right? I mean, we think being a physician is a great thing to do, but after you've seen your 10th running nose toddler in a day, do you think it's a lot of fun? You know, it's every job can become tedious, for sure. And that's why many people change their career paths. Anyone else want to share something? That you
10 years is a really long time to do something you hate. And just like make me really sad to wake up every day for the job that I don't like. So going to your job every day, it wouldn't feel like a job because you like it, and your dream job can change. Get like get promoted, you have different stuff.
Yeah.
It can,
And you're not seeing it as staff, you're seeing it as its whole, and it will still stay. It's just exchange, of course. Yeah. All righty. So oh yeah, gotta move on. So I'm just gonna flip through these last ones here. So the thing is that when you have, I mean, these seem funny, talking about these types of things, but sometimes it is something that's very simple that can be the conversation starter. Or you overhear somebody talk about wizards, you know, and you think, whoa, what about wizards? You know, it can be as simple as, oh, I really like your shoes. Where did you get them? You know, all kinds of things can start a conversation. It doesn't have to be the meaning of life, okay? It doesn't have to be serious. So just a few ideas of icebreakers. What brought you to this event? What did you think of the speaker? Do you have any insider advice? Hey, I've never been before. Any tips? I feel awkward usually here, and I thought I'd just say hello. And I kind of like this one. I promised myself I'd have 2 conversations with new people today. Do you mind being one of them? And you know what? That's like, that just makes me smile, because I think I could say that. Do you mind? And who's going to say no to that, right? So networking essentials. So you probably mentioned no last week in your interview. The first question was, tell me about yourself, or at least it was for myself. That's basically the elevator speech, right? This is the high level of who I am. I'm a Chem Bio student in my second year at McMaster. I've got experience in this, and, it's that high level summary. So imagine you're stepping into the elevator and the CEO of the company of your dreams is there, and you only have 2 floors to say something to that person. You have to have your elevator speech ready. You have to know exactly what you're going to say. I worked with a woman who's a clinical psychologist for years in healthcare communications, and I could just listen to her for hours. I mean, she was just such an engaging presenter. And most of what she'd said, because sometimes I hear her do the same workshop, and I think that didn't sound anything like the last one, because everything else was kind of unplanned, and she let herself be led by the people in the class. But the very first few sentences out of her mouth every day, she had them memorized because she needed to start off on that foot. So memorize that first little bit, and then you feel confident that I've got this, I can do this. Because especially when nerves take over, it's harder to get those words out of your mouth. So I'm going to challenge you all. And again, this is about practice, right? Taking a risk. This isn't part of your homework, but if you choose, if you'd like to, pull a 15-second elevator speech together, right? High level points of who you are and what you might be looking for in that conversation. And next Friday, and next Friday's our last class together, if you're willing, maybe some of you would share your elevator speech, right? Practice, take a small risk. Listen, we've all been there, we've all been nervous. So take that little risk when you're in a safe environment, right? So some networking tips. There's some things to think about before you go. Be prepared. Review the attendees if possible and rehearse key points. Again, it's the rehearsal of what I'm going to say. Knowing who's attending can be really important. And often at conferences, you do know who's attending. And you can say, I see so-and-so from this company. I really want to talk with them first. So again, that's your place to do some homework. Find out a little bit about the company or what they might be looking for so that you have a conversation in your back pocket and ready. Again, preparation really is important. Make yourself approachable, okay? Smile, don't be looking at your phone, because if you're looking at your phone, I'm not going to interrupt you, okay? It's just, people don't do it. So, look like I'm here to meet people. Where are you? Come and talk to me. Get others to talk about themselves. This is a very easy trick. If you feel uncomfortable talking about yourself, you be the one to ask the questions. You get right in there, and then people will just take over, right? But you have to remember to listen too. Stand out, and not stand out in a, well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, stand out in a way that's comfortable for you, I'm just going to say. Sometimes it's just in your attire, or sometimes it's in your body language, your confidence. Sometimes you stand out because you got purple hair. I mean, you do you. What for you makes you think you stand out and be noticeable? Sometimes it's a brooch or something that you're wearing that will actually start the conversation. Oh, that's really cool. Where'd you get that? And, those are the small things, the small details that can relax and sort of de-escalate the nerves in tense situations. And this is probably the most important part of this. This is the follow up. Okay, so after, if somebody gives you their card, if somebody promises they're going to send you something, if you promise someone you're going to send something, this is what you need to do. You need to follow up, because if you don't, you may as well just not have gone there in the first place. This is knitting your network, right? Every time you connect with someone, and here's an idea. A lot of the students that I interviewed, quite a few of them, when they sent a note back to me after the interview, they actually said something about what they said, which was brilliant, because then it's like, oh yeah, I remember that student. Said something about the conversation that we had. So that's important, so that they remember, oh yeah, that was that guy. Yeah, I remember him. So follow up and follow through is essential. Networking tips, especially for introverts: bring a friend, volunteer, do busy activities. Networking mistakes: monopolizing conversations. And this can happen in a lot of places. I'm just going to give you one example. In the class that I'm doing right now for my master's, I swear I get put in a group with this person every time. And she's a high school principal. She just takes over and it drives me crazy. And everybody else just sits there and listens to her. Because, you know, when you have somebody who just takes all the time, you kind of just let them have it. Why fight about it? Don't wait to network until you need something or you're looking for a job. That's really, really important. Clearly, don't be arrogant or overly confident. Don't ever dismiss people who don't look important. You know, we all have different ways of dressing, you know, and sometimes we make assumptions based on the way someone chooses to dress, whether they're important or not. You know, are they the CEO or are they the person who takes out the garbage? You don't know, right? So you can't tell that. Make sure if you're going to connect on LinkedIn, if you're going to send a connection request, make sure you introduce yourself. And then this last one is the most important: asking for something before building the relationship. And that's why I'm telling you all, because you're in second year. 2 years from now, when you want your references for grad school or wherever you're going, you can't just go to your professor and say, hey, you know, I was in your class in first year, remember? And I was thinking I'd ask you for a reference. You can't do that. You have to have cultivated that relationship for an extended period of time before you can ask for something. Networking tools, social media, of course, is a tool. Business cards. I know it sounds kind of old fashioned, but I have students take my cards all the time. You can get 500 of them made for $10. It's just easy. We don't always want to put deets in our phone from someone, or don't want to take, you know, touch somebody's phone too. Another tool is informational interviews and thank you notes. Definitely that's part of the follow-up. If someone shares something with you, has a chat with you, does something for you, thank them. Be appreciative. All right, so I want to take some time to do this. So can you just pass them back? We're going to do networking bingo. So this may require you to get up around the room. So you've got 9 squares here. And the idea is to start conversations with people around these topics. Okay, easy peasy. See if you can get as many names as possible. You can only get one person on each square. You can't ask them to fill them all. Okay. So I'm sorry we're a little short of time because of the technical difficulty. I'm going to say let's take 5 minutes to do that. And then we'll debrief and see who got the most conversations going. Okay, so go ahead. So in the interest of the end of class, I'm gonna get everybody to wind it up and come back to school. Did anybody able to get any signatures? Zero. Zero signatures. No? Okay, good. Did anybody only get one signature? One signature. Okay. Two signatures. Three signatures. Four. Five signatures. Six. Seven. Ooh, okay. Eight. Eight. Anyone able to get all nine? Okay, I'm sorry I didn't give you enough time. I'm really sorry about the technical difficulties. Okay, so what was there anyone that was hard to find? Was anything more of a challenge? Travel to more than 10 countries. Did you ask me? Yeah, but you just, it's just.
I love this other class that's moving over.
Yeah, and I interrupt. It's fine. Other things that were hard. Opposite ends of the spectrum, for sure. Did you have, I mean, was that hard? No, Jacob shaking his head. No. Was it easy? Yeah. Right. Right. But the point of this really is that it actually is pretty easy to start this conversation when you've got it planned, you've got a script, you know what you're doing. It's hard when you're going in cold, of course it is. But that's where practice and preparation come in key. It come in very, very high on the list. So the more you practice this, the more you know what you're going to say when you get in front of that person, the better it's going to go, trust me. Anyway, thanks all for your patience today, for the technical difficulties in your time, and have a fantastic weekend.